Well, first of all, I want to do the clapping, and considering you're not going to give me a clapper, I'm going to go Andrew Watson, round 3, Snetterton.
Snetterton, it's a really good track to drive.
There's some very, very, very complex bits, and there's some other bits where you just need to be really brave.
There's a lot of places that you can gain a lot of time and lose a lot of time, you know.
It's got a great mixture of fast corners, really high speed, the car's really, really hanging on. At the same time, you've also got a good mix of slow corners.
The last corner, if the car's working and hooked up, you know, it's 3/4 tenths. If it's not, you're going to get murdered. You look at the delta and it's gone and you're like, what just happened? So yeah, this weekend at Snet we've got 3 different compounds of tyres. Last time out at Brands we had 2, and I used the soft tyre in race 1 and our race lasted a lap, so didn't get any feeling for that. So the initial plan is I need to learn this place again. I haven't been here since 2015 and we've got the soft, medium and hard. Never driven on the hard, did a lap on the soft, so there's a lot to overcome there. You know, if somebody's on a soft and somebody's on a hard, there's going to be a chunk of a difference there. And if you can be on the right tyre at the right time, sounds simple, but you can probably punch above your weight.
Sunglasses. Might have had a good night's sleep, would be nice. But we'll wait and see. You know it's a safe hands, but you don't want anything to happen,
so. Someone's off wide at Coram. Hopefully they don't get on. There's Dan Lloyd. He's saved it. Oh, someone else off. I think there must be oil. Something's down on the track.
Oh, something's happened over here. Everyone's going off.
There's the oil, there's the oil. See the shiny patch? You could see it on the track, but by the time he got there, it was too late.
Did you see oil on the track?
Just on the pit entry.
Watson at Coram. He got wide, didn't he? Didn't manage to stay inside that dust line and just dragged him a little bit wider and wider and wider until he had no option but to go off.
Messy session, kept getting caught out with the red flags on my fast lap, and then got done for track limits on my quick lap. And then yeah, when you get that message, it's yeah, a bit of a knife to the heart, really. Haven't had a lot of time here and I'm pushing to try and get the most out of the car, and yeah, I overstepped it a bit. Yeah, I let the team down slightly there. We should have been close to the top 10 there. Sorry. It's completely deflating now, really, and angry at myself because the car was better than that today.
Really don't know. He hasn't really said much. Just apologised, said sorry. It's not his fault. For a team, you win as a team, you lose as a team, don't you? So it is what it is. Be all right. We go again tomorrow.
Why do I do the job? One, for race cars. Like when you go to the pub and they say, well, people say what you do, I
build race cars and you show them pictures and they go, that's actually quite cool. And you do get quite a lot of job satisfaction out of it. So I went from being a mechanic for 14 years, and then I thought, I'm not getting any younger, let's try motorsport. Always wanted to do motorsport. It was quite a big step up. It's just in the race, I can't watch it. I don't know why, hoping nothing happens to him and my car, but then I would probably say it means I do care. I do care about the car and I do care about him, and I do care about results. Well, that's what we're all here for, really, results.
I'm Adam Weaver, I'm the team principal and owner of Castle Powermax Racing. We're in my pub, how to put it, I like to do crazy things, I think, so owning a BTCC team was probably the craziest thing I've ever done, and then I bought a pub. So I wanted to create a community, a venue, something that I don't think's been done how I think it should be done. So I've bought a very large pub with 2.5 acres of grounds, 120 car parking spaces, and we've basically painted it in motorsport. I've always been involved in motorsport. At a young age, I kind of grew up at the side of a kart track watching my old man race go-karts. I've raced in autographs myself. I've raced in VW Cup Mini Challenge, which is now on the BTCC package. I got involved with what was BTC Racing before the recent format of BTC Racing, and was title sponsor to them. Basically got to the end of the year and they needed a significant amount more money to race next year, which I wasn't comfortable with putting that amount of money in based on the return that I'd got from the previous year. And I offered to buy the team. And we very quickly went to a 2-car team, but we needed a licence. So I had to do a deal with Richard Dean at United Autosports to actually buy a second TBL and the components to make up this other shell. And we quickly became a 2-car team that launched with Dave Newsham and Josh Cook. And that was 2015.
Hello, mate.
Hi Jake, nice to meet you.
Mate, nice to meet you as well.
Welcome to the British Touring Car.
Well, thank you. And also, I should say to you, welcome to Norfolk. You know, I live like literally 10 minutes from here.
Well, yeah, we've been doing a bit of re-landscaping for you yesterday in qualifying.
So how was it? Go on.
Should have been in the top 10, but you know, pinged for track limits. We're pressured for one lap here, so the time has to come on that first lap.
If the best lap had counted yesterday, where would you be?
Probably P9 or somewhere there, so that would have equalled our best from Donington. Because we had such a good first weekend, the sights are really quite high now, so you know, we're still in the fight and a really good spot for the Rookie Championship, the Jack Sears Trophy. So
this being your first season in touring cars, it's so hard to know what you don't know. So you've got such experience all around you with guys who know how to deal with what you had yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, nobody has come into this championship and just hit the ground running and won the championship. The cars are difficult to drive, window's hard to get the car into, and yeah, the racing is a whole different ball game. So look, I'm enjoying it. This year is a learning year, so we got to remind ourselves of that.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not sure if it'll do you any good, but I've got my son, I've got my wife, his mate as well. So we'll be giving you the full cheer from the sidelines. Okay. Who knows?
Yeah, well, you're in for plenty of action, that's for sure.
Top man, not long till the race, huh?
No, we better get going and get ready.
I'm going to get a coffee, and I'm cheering you on.
All right, thanks, Jake.
The sun always shines in Norfolk, by the way.
Like in Ireland.
Exactly like in Ireland.
Qualifying, but we've got to keep our nose clean. Anything can happen at front, so you've got to be a bit aware, but you know, surviving the first 2 or 3 laps is the most important thing, and then hopefully dragging out a decent result in the end. You know, we could easily be on for a podium. A few hards. Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered with
that. Yeah. Ingram's a soft section. I knew he was going to be on We said in the bus, he's got so much pace. Good luck. No. What have you done? Shut up. Old people first, old people first.
That's car in position.
Like to go out, a good start is made by Sutton, not a very good start in contrast by Tom Ingram, so Turkington gets the drop on the good day as they go down towards Riches for the first time.
Come on, hold it, come up.
Cracking getaway by Sutton, but they're 3 wide for second. Ingram on the outside, Turkington on the inside, Hill was in the middle, and Ingram is the one that comes out the big loser, run out wide over the curve.
Need to step it up a couple of tenths.
Ash Sutton leads Turkington by 2 seconds already. Hill third, Collard fourth, Adam Morgan is fifth, sixth is Ingram, Rowbottom is up to 7.
Oh! Yeah, a big moment from Rowbottom, very wide out of the corner.
He's a bit premature there.
Story of my life.
A 2-second cushion at the end of lap 1 for Sutton. That's extraordinary.
It is.
Lots of dust in the background as people run wide, coming onto the straight. Good battle between Rowbottom 7th, Cook 8th.
Rowbottom, Cook and Butcher, the leading exponents on that hard time.
The lead gap, 2.7 seconds. Ash Sutton, for the moment, in charge, and he's just pulled another 10th in the first sector. And Sutton goes across the timing lines, put 6 laps in the book, and the margin is 2.9 seconds, so it's crept up again. They're second, third, and fourth. Turkington, Hill, Ingram. In 5th place behind them, incidentally, is Adam Morgan.
4 tenths faster this lap. 6 laps to go.
And more for the track limit warning flag, incidentally, and now including Andrew Watson and Jade Edwards. Right, there are the BMWs, still second and third. That's calmed down a little bit, hasn't it? Jake Hill just sitting behind for another lap also. Is this a team thing from WSR saying, don't fight, catch him, because when they don't fight, they close. The gap was down 2.5 seconds. So Ash Sutton comes down towards the S's, onto the grass goes Jake Hill, he leans on Turkington. Side by side into the S's, Jake's got the inside line for the next corner, Turkington gives him room, goes out wide, this is Ingram's chance if he can capitalise. So that is Jake Hill, second place, and in the second sector, another 3 tenths pulled back.
Oh, Jake's reeled him in.
So you can see the way the gap is coming down as Hill has done the absolute best in the first sector.
Showing off there, Craig.
He is a bit, isn't he? Which is also asking for a puncher.
Hill closes under braking. Now the drag race starts. Who is better on the power? Who has left just a little squirt of hybrid? Up to the checkered flag they come. Ash Sutton is just going to hang on for career win 30 as he comes across the line. Ash Sutton wins round 7 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. Came across the line at the end of lap 1, 2 seconds clear. By the end of the race, it was 2 tenths ahead. Third, Turkington. Fourth, Ingram. Fifth, Morgan. Sixth, Jelly. Is this reflecting what you expected of the tyres?
No.
Good night.
I honestly thought the BMWs on the soft tyre would be all over Sutton. They should be all over Sutton.
You know, P5 we're quite happy with. We made some changes to the car to compensate for what we thought was going to be quite a high deg on the soft tyres, but we just went too far. You know, we made the car too soft. So in all the high-speed corners, the car just rolled over too much. Turn 3, you just want to go in, it just wants to like roll over.
Suddenly you're a big rear spring man, suddenly, yeah?
No, I'm just saying, that's what it...
I know.
Slightly disappointed in the fact that my teammates were quicker. I just didn't have that outright speed to keep with the top guys. We'll see what the track's going to do for this next one. I think we're going to run the mediums for race 2. And looking forward to, hopefully, getting some more points.
I didn't quite catch the last message, but we were struggling mid to exit.
Yeah, I don't think the bar is the right direction.
Right, okay.
I was just struggling in the tight stuff now.
Right in the tight stuff, right, okay.
Yeah, so traction and everybody's able to get underneath me, you know.
Right, okay. So my responsibilities on a weekend are, first of all, the setup of the car, making sure that everything's working fine with the car, performance-wise, engine-wise. It's basically everything that happens with that car goes through me. and then I pass that information on to the mechanics, and then they carry out whatever's needed. So I first met Andrew, our first test at Brands. First impressions, seemed like a calm, collective guy, knew what he was talking about, what the car was doing.
The balance wasn't too bad, I just didn't have any...
Just didn't have the grip on.
Everywhere, I'd say. On the slow speeds, it goes in okay, but then it's just really, you know, it just doesn't pick up the mechanical. So.
Okay. Well, some data.
But it was so noticeable. Like,
yeah, Mikey hit me in turn 1. It wasn't great.
So on lap 5 maybe?
Yeah, I felt like I was way ahead, you know, like I had the right to take the corner. And
okay.
Wait to see the onboard.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a great competition and respect between all the drivers. I think it's good to have some sort of baseline to push on from.
I would say, you know, genuinely and very strangely, we've gone to 3 drivers this year, and it's the best it's ever been. You know, they're all good lads with good families. Again, that's another thing that can be quite complex. You know, very often you get the driver's dad, and then the driver's wider family and kind of entourage and group. And that can be quite interesting at times. You know, it can be very difficult. You could get on with one but not the other, or they're putting in opinions which they're, quite frankly, they're not qualified to give. It can be tough. It's like trying to hit a moving target blindfolded. You know, there's so many variables. It costs so much money to go racing. So the vast majority of the drivers help the teams by bringing sponsorship to the team. So it's a case of having a conversation with a lot of drivers, understanding what sponsorship they can bring, who those sponsors are likely to be. So if we've got a massive oil sponsor, for example, and their main part of their budget comes from an oil sponsor, we can't then take them or their oil sponsor because there's a conflict. So we talked to a lot of people. You know, I had lots of conversations with Mark Blundell, who actually represents Andrew. You know, we got very close to actually doing a deal to put Mark Blundell in one of our cars when he joined the championship, but we couldn't quite make it work. So when he had a driver that was interested in coming to the championship, I believe we were one of, if not the only team that he approached to basically put his driver in, and that was Andrew. Again, like we said, the family, the background, meeting him as a person, and the support network that he'd got, and obviously the results that he'd achieved in GTs and what he'd managed to achieve in Ginetta. I had no doubt that he'd be able to get in a touring car and be competitive.
Two Powermax cars coming into Oggy's side by side. They come out together, still side by side. Everybody out wide on the first lap. And here goes Collard up the inside of Andrew Watson, bouncing over the curbs and pushes it out wide.
At the end of lap 1, Ash Sutton led by 2.2 seconds. At the end of lap 2, he led by 4.2 seconds. Dan Rowbottom is indeed making progress. He is up to 5th, the second of the soft tyres.
Good job, mate. Let's get foot down.
That's Rowbottom on the inside of Morgan. Former teammates, remember, in Sicily Motorsport Mercedes days. Rowbottom goes one side, goes the other. He's got the quicker tyre, but he hasn't got the width of the road. They're just trying to find a way through. Into Bomb Hole they come. For the moment, Morgan fends him off.
Great sector 2. This is it. This is what we need.
Contact there with Morgan and Rowbottom.
Rowbottom had gone through and Morgan hit him.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
So Dan Rowbottom then is up one place. That puts him 4th. Now there is a little bit of inter-knee-side argument as you see Mikey Doble and Andrew Watson squabbling. 19th and 20th the Castor Powermax Racing Vauxhalls, and it was Mikey Doble losing out to Andrew Watson. So the battle between the teammates continues.
Yeah, no rear. It was better in the slow speed, but in the medium speed, more understeer.
I think this year has been a learning curve for him, going from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive, but he seems to be picking it up and learning each weekend just different things, and setup-wise with the car. When you've got a driver like that, where you can have good feedback, it just makes the job a bit more easier.
Three-minute board. See you on your side. Have fun.
good start by all of the BMWs. Dan Rowbottom tries to fend off at least one of them. The car of Colin Turkington, but Stephen Jelly will lead Adam Morgan. Rowbottom on the inside, Turkington on the outside. Jake Hill is next in the queue.
Rowbottom's up to second place. Oh, Rowbottom's got a chance here. Has he gone up the inside? Yes, he has. Will Ingram and Butcher follow through? Look at the grip that they've got.
Right, this is going to be absolutely fascinating. Rowbottom on mediums versus Ingram on softs, and Ingram looking the quicker at the moment. Rowbottom is going to have to make that car very, very wide for another 9 laps.
Ingram behind has 7 laps of hybrid. Let's make this car wide.
Camish just slipped past Sutton. I think Sutton let him through because Sutton's on the hard, Camish is on the soft. He's now caught up behind Rowbottom. These are the BMWs scrapping it out.
That was Hill making contact with Jelly.
Cars running together, look. This is why I think they should have split their strategy, because they're now fighting amongst themselves.
That's Morgan versus Jelly. Adam Morgan up on the inside line, Stephen Jelly alongside him. Same tyre choice, Jake Hill likewise right there behind them. Nose to tail, Rowbottom again has to go defensive as they come up towards Riches, and this is the lap on which Ingram makes his move on the inside line, and he's done it, he's gone by. Tom Ingram goes through to take over the race lead. Rowbottom might be able to fight back.
Call him a clip, isn't he? Look at that.
Rowbottom is now being given a tough time by Dan Cam, who is on the soft tyre. So here you are, this is another reminder of how a touring car weekend can come back to you. Dan Cam started the first race from very nearly last on the grid, and here he is pitching for a podium at the end of the day.
Yeah, and look, he's been let through. Rowbottom's let him through. Teamwork, good teammates, doing the right thing there.
So the 4 BMWs running together as a pack, but not where they want to be. Big lock-up by Turkington as he tries to attack Hill, who tries to attack Morgan, who tries to attack Jelly. Camish makes his move then on Rory Butcher for second place. Through he goes. Hill gets up the inside of Morgan, clatters past his teammate. Turkington goes through as well, and then Morgan and Hill collide on exit. That's exactly what WSR did not need.
There's no love lost there, is there?
There'll be an internal discussion at West Surrey Racing about their tyre strategy, I'm sure.
Tom Ingram, I think, is just about going to be able to hang on. They're the reigning champion, rather overdue a win. It's going to be a race win for Tom Ingram, and what a race it has been. Tom Ingram wins round 9 here at Snetterton. Dan Camish half a second behind for second place.
Yep, I got it, thank you. That didn't work either then.
Do you see on TV?
Well, the Jake thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But he came out of it with losing places and all sorts of things. Genuine mistake. Yeah, and he'll tell you himself, I'm sure. Everyone is a competitor. Obviously, you feel like you should be more careful with each other, but it's like with Jake, he had a go, he messed it up a bit, but that was just an honest mistake. That wasn't intent or anything, so it happens. Yeah. I think we took our points when we could get them. I don't think you can even look back on our day and say we could have done better. It's quite good. Now that the different tyres have really mixed up the races, even though we sort of didn't come off terribly well with it in the last race. I think I enjoy it, that little bit of lottery aspect to it, really. So anyway, semi-decent weekend.
Had a good weekend, points on the board, P7, P4, and we've inherited third place because Dan unfortunately got a ride height failure. Obviously, I think Dan Cam's going to be super p***ed off. It's not really the way I like to, no one wants to get a podium through default, through like a technical infringement. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed that that's the way it's gone down, but we need all the points we can get, so obviously we'll take them. But we've had a good weekend, so it's nothing to write home about. We've got some ideas for Thruxton, and I think we can move everything forward.
I probably knew that Snetterton was going to be tough because it's the longest lap of the year, so the most amount of lap to lose time over. It's a very technical circuit. I hadn't tested there, so that was always going to be more challenging. Now I was on a nice lap in qualifying and would have put me in the top 10, and I got track limits at the last corner, so that really screwed us over. I felt like as a driver I'd let the team and the mechanics down because it's down to me at the end of the day. So I could feel their frustration, which is fair enough. We scored some okay Jack Sears points, but it was pretty quiet and pretty unremarkable.
Goodbye, Snetterton. Good riddance.
I think it has to be described as addictive because if why else would you put yourself through all of that? The worst thing is I think if I just set myself the goal to win a race in the BTCC, and that would be success for me, I'd have quit a long time ago. But stupidly, when I bought a BTCC team, I set myself a goal of winning the championship, and I haven't done that yet. So I can't leave until I've won the championship, because otherwise that'll be failure. And then I'm going to have to live with that for the rest of my life, aren't I? So I really need to hurry up and win the championship.
Bottom on the inside. Has he got a problem? He has.
On it, get front drop.
Morgan's dropped place after place after place.
Sake, Adam.